Ever feel like you're just drowning in manual tasks? Paperwork piling up, and you're thinking, there has to be a better way. Well, today, we're diving deep into a case study that's pretty much a roadmap for fixing exactly that. It's about the digital overhaul of Transmove Logistics. They're an Indian B2B supply chain company.
Right.
And their situation. Well, imagine tracking orders and deliveries entirely on paper.
Oof. Yeah, that's tough. Leads to problems.
Big problems. We're talking a 20% order delay rate. Staggering, really.
For customers. Zero visibility in real time, I bet.
Exactly. Plus, you had employees just completely swamped, bogged down by these repetitive tasks.
That kind of thing really hits morale and efficiency.
For sure. And the system just couldn't scale. Growth was pretty much impossible. So the objective was clear. Digitize and automate everything, end-to-end delivery operations.
Including the real-time tracking and customer visibility.
Yep. And they gave themselves this incredibly ambitious 4-month deadline.
Wow, 4 months is tight for that scale of change.
Yeah. And they decided to use Agile project management.
What's fascinating here is, well, this story isn't unique to Transmove, is it?
Yeah.
So many logistics companies hit this wall. These manual processes, the paper trails, they become the main bottleneck. And honestly, digital transformation often stops being just an upgrade. It becomes the only real path forward for sustainable growth, for staying competitive.
So, okay, 4 months, huge pressure. How did they actually approach it? What was the plan?
Well, they went with Agile Scrum, and the team structure was really key, I think. They kept it lean and focused. You had a product owner, a Scrum Master, 6 developers, a QA person, and a UI UX designer.
So a dedicated team, ready to move fast.
Exactly. Non-negotiable with that kind of timeline.
And they jumped right in, didn't they? Sprint 1 was about laying the groundwork.
Yeah, building the back-end APIs, the core for shipment tracking.
Okay. Then Sprint 2.
That's where they started integrating the real-time stuff, GPS tracking.
Ah, okay.
And even making it compatible with IoT sensors. Thinking ahead.
Smart. Sprint 3 must have been customer-facing then.
Precisely. Developing the actual customer dashboard and setting up automated notifications.
Keeping everyone in the loop automatically. Nice.
And finally, Sprint 4 pulled it all together on the back end for Transmove itself.
The admin panel.
Yep, the admin panel. Crucial role-based access control. Making sure the right people see the right things.
And through all this, they had to manage scope creep, right? How did they handle that?
Constant backlog grooming. That was essential. And they kept a very active risk log.
Like for potential hardware delays? GPS stuff?
Exactly like that. Proactive planning. And, this structured, iterative way of working, that's why Agile works so well here.
Because they built it piece by piece.
Right. Each sprint delivered something tangible, something working. It wasn't just about speed. It was about finding problems early.
So catching issues in small chunks avoids big disasters later.
You got it. They avoided those huge late-stage rework cycles that would have completely blown that 4-month timeline. That's Agile's strength in complex projects.
Okay, so the process sounds solid. Let's talk results. The payoff. The outcomes here are, frankly, pretty phenomenal. That order delay rate from 20% down to just 3%.
Wow. Huge improvement.
And customer satisfaction. They used NPS, Net Promoter Score. It went from 52 up to 84.
That's a massive jump. Customers clearly felt the difference.
Oh, yeah. And the internal impact manual hours saved per month, it dropped from over 400 down to just 75.
Think of the time freed up for more valuable work.
Absolutely. And maybe the bottom line impact, 17% revenue growth within 6 months after launch.
That's the kind of result that really proves the project's value.
And the COO, Raju Mehta, he basically said, this project transformed our business. He praised the Agile approach for keeping them engaged and said the team exceeded expectations.
It sounds like a textbook success.
Yeah.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the lessons learned are really important. Well, first, that early and continuous stakeholder involvement. It wasn't just a nice to have. It was critical to avoid rework and ensure the final product actually met the real needs.
Makes sense. Get feedback early and often.
Exactly. And second, Agile's flexibility. You talked about speed, but it's also about adapting. They could make adjustments based on feedback without sacrificing the deadline. That's key.
Right. Flexibility within structure.
And the third thing, maybe the most crucial for adoption, building user-centric interfaces. Making it easy and intuitive for both customers and employees was paramount. That's what ensures people actually use the new system.
So, what does this all mean for you listening? I think this Transmove story serves as a really clear blueprint. It shows how you can tackle massive operational challenges effectively.
Mhm.
It's this great mix of disciplined, agile methods and really putting the customer first. Shows you can get dramatic, measurable results.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Think about these specific steps Transmove took. From identifying those bottlenecks, the paper, the delays to their iterative solution and those impressive outcomes. How might understanding their journey help you spot similar bottlenecks or perhaps new opportunities for digital transformation and efficiency in your own work? Doesn't matter the industry, really. The core principles often apply across the board. Something to consider.